さないこと。
言うてるの。
異変を見つけたらすぐに引き返すこと。
こっちじゃない。
異変が見つからなかったら引き返さない。
Kawamura finds himself trapped in a strange underground world that feels like an endless metro tunnel, looping back to the same turns, the same stairs, the same signs. But this place follows a cruel rule. In every cycle he must spot an anomaly, something slightly out of place, or the world resets, throwing him back to the start. At first, what unsettles him the most is a man in a formal suit who always seems to be waiting ahead, appearing at every corner as if he knows the loop better than anyone. Kawamura tries to muster the courage to approach him, but his racing heart keeps him from speaking. His eyes shift to the wall where the word Exit 0 is carved, while above him a flickering sign reads Tunnel 8. There must be a hidden pattern here, some rhythm to this madness. Suddenly, the suited man appears again, rounding the corner without surprise. That's when Kawamura realizes this is not just a maze of paths but a maze of rules. He tries the emergency call, the display panel. Both are locked, no way to reach for help. Then a poster on the wall catches his attention. Ants marching endlessly along a Mobius strip, a path where beginning and end are the same. At that moment, a strange red liquid begins seeping through the wall's crack. Kawamura recoils in shock, but the suited man remains calm, distracted by his phone as if nothing unusual has happened. When the loop restarts, the sign changes from 0 to 1. The anomaly has been marked. He goes back to Tunnel 8, but this time the red liquid is gone. The place erases whatever isn't recognized. Kawamura understands now, if he fails to notice an anomaly, the system denies it, and everything resets. Determined, he begins taking photos with his phone to document each detail, even of the suited stranger. Completing the loop, he sees the sign display 1, progress. But when he opens the photos, his breath catches. Every single picture has been corrupted into lines of strange yellow code, as though even digital memory bends under the tunnel's rules. Now he has nothing but his own mind to rely on. The footsteps of the suited man suddenly stop. Kawamura remembers the rule. Even silence can be an anomaly. He turns, and finds the man standing right behind him like a shadow. Panic takes over, and he runs blindly through the tunnel, tripping and falling until darkness swallows him. When he wakes, the same man is there again, still on his phone. The sign now shows 2. Somehow he has moved forward. He drinks water to steady himself and steps once more into Tunnel 8. At first, everything seems ordinary. Then a faint cry echoes from a nearby cabinet. Kawamura carefully opens it, and recoils in horror. This must be an anomaly. But when he goes back to check again, the sound is gone. The tunnel cleans its tracks. He glances at the board. 4. Halfway through, now he knows hesitation is his enemy. He watches every handle, every flicker of light, every sign. Another round passes without incident. Then his phone rings. The caller ID makes his stomach twist. His ex-girlfriend. Hesitant, he answers. Her broken voice confesses that after their breakup she became pregnant and now wants his thoughts about the baby. Words fail him. A memory rises. The time he sat quietly on this same train, watching a father get harassed, too afraid to speak up. If he couldn't defend someone else's child, how could he ever be a father himself? The call ends, leaving him hollow. It feels less like coincidence, more like the tunnel forcing him to face his own guilt. Back in the tunnel, a young boy suddenly stands in his path, silent, watchful, almost like a sign from another world. Kawamura hesitates, preparing to turn back, but before he can, the counter resets to 0. Failure. Was the boy not an anomaly after all? The child follows him quietly and points toward the suited man, as if revealing a hidden truth. For the first time, Kawamura shifts his focus. Now the suited stranger begins to scan his surroundings too, eyes locked on every wall, every sign, every faint sound. It's no longer just Kawamura against the tunnel. The man has become another player, bound by the same rules. Kawamura realizes the game was never only about spotting oddities in the world. It's about confronting the anomalies inside himself. Unless he faces both, this loop will never end. The loop resets again, and Kawamura steadies himself. He realizes the suited man is not just another wandering soul, but a direct rival, someone who knows the rules just as well as he does. Each cycle feels like a competition now. The man moves ahead with quick confidence, spotting anomalies before Kawamura can, almost as if the tunnel itself is helping him. Kawamura pushes harder. He begins scanning every corner, listening for the faintest sound, touching every surface. Then it happens. A mirror on the tunnel wall ripples like water when he walks past, an unmistakable anomaly. He reaches out, his hand trembling, but before he can mark it, the suited man steps forward and touches it first. The signboard flicks, advancing his count, while Kawamura's remains unchanged. Frustration surges. This place is no longer just a maze, it's a race. In the next loop, Kawamura changes his strategy. Instead of rushing forward, he lingers, carefully observing. A faint hum from a light, a small tile slightly out of alignment. The details matter. He spots one, quickly acknowledges it, and for the first time his counter updates before the man's. Relief washes over him, but it's short-lived. The tunnel begins to warp in new, unsettling ways. Pipes bend like veins, dripping a sticky black fluid. Shadows on the wall seem to move even when no one walks past. Kawamura's phone vibrates again. This time, a message flashes across the screen in distorted letters, warning him, "Don't trust the rules. The tunnel lies." His chest tightens. Until now, he believed the system was fair. But what if even the rules themselves are shifting? The suited man grows more aggressive. Whenever Kawamura notices something, the man rushes ahead, trying to reach it first. Their silent rivalry becomes physical, shoulders brushing, eyes locked, breaths heavy. At one point, Kawamura stumbles as the man deliberately blocks his path, causing him to miss an anomaly. The counter resets. Rage boils inside him, but he knows giving in will cost him everything. The next cycle feels different. The boy appears again, this time holding a paper plane. Without speaking, he points it toward the darker end of the tunnel, a place Kawamura had avoided. For the first time, Kawamura chooses to follow. The path leads him into a narrower corridor, walls pressing closer, lights flickering in chaotic patterns. He hears whispers, fragments of his own past, mistakes he thought he had buried. His failure to protect the man on the train. His silence when his girlfriend cried. His refusal to accept responsibility. The tunnel is no longer just showing anomalies outside. It's forcing him to face the anomalies within himself. Suddenly he sees the suited man again, but something has changed. The man looks shaken, sweat dripping, his phone pressed tightly to his ear. He mutters into it, though no call connects. Kawamura realizes the man is not untouchable. He too is trapped in his own illusions. For a brief moment, their eyes meet, not as rivals, but as two broken people trying to survive. Still, the tunnel gives no mercy. Another cycle begins, and this time, a figure of a pregnant woman appears at the far end. Kawamura freezes. It's a reflection of his ex-girlfriend, belly swollen, eyes filled with sorrow. She whispers his name, her voice echoing in the walls. The suited man ignores her and marches forward, but Kawamura can't. His legs tremble as he steps closer, guilt flooding through him. The moment he reaches out, she vanishes, and the counter resets again. The boy reappears with the paper plane, placing it in Kawamura's hands. This time, the plane bears a word scribbled across it, choice. Kawamura clutches it tightly. He finally understands. The tunnel isn't just testing him on anomalies. It's testing whether he can make the choices he avoided in life. His silence, his fear, his lack of courage were all anomalies he never confronted. And now, until he does, the loops will never end. The suited man surges ahead once more, nearing what looks like a final gate at the end of the corridor. Kawamura feels the urgency. His counter is close to completion, but so is his rival's. The boy's voice echoes softly in his mind, urging him, "Don't just see, decide." And so, for the first time, Kawamura resolves to stop running, stop hiding, and face the tunnel not as a prisoner of its rules, but as someone willing to own his choices. The real trial has only just begun. Section 3, Mid to Ending. The tunnel grows colder as Kawamura presses forward, clutching the paper plane tightly in his fist. The suited man is just ahead, his footsteps echoing like a countdown. Both men are close to the end, and the air is thick with tension. Pipes rattle, lights flicker violently, and every shadow seems alive, waiting to consume whoever falters first. As Kawamura hurries, the anomalies become harder to identify. What once were small glitches, a sound, a light, a misplaced object, now blur with hallucinations drawn from his own mind. He sees flashes of his ex-girlfriend, the child he never had, the man on the train, whose death he never stopped. Each vision tempts him to stop, to drown in guilt, but the paper plane in his hand reminds him. This is about choice. He cannot ignore it any longer. The suited man suddenly reaches the glowing gate at the tunnel's end. His counter lights up, just one anomaly away from completion. He turns back, staring at Kawamura with a cold, triumphant smile. For the first time, he speaks. Only one of us gets out. His voice is steady, but his eyes betray exhaustion. He, too, is breaking under the endless cycles. Kawamura looks at his own counter. It lags just behind, one mark short. His chance is slipping away. But then, the boy appears again, standing silently beside him. The paper plane in Kawamura's hand shifts, unfolding into a sheet of paper with a single word scrawled across it. Confess. Kawamura understands. The tunnel isn't about winning a race, or outsmarting the other man. It's about facing the truths he buried. For so long, he denied responsibility for his choices, hiding behind silence. Now, with the gate within reach, the tunnel demands his confession. The suited man lunges forward, ready to pass through. But before he can, Kawamura stops running. His voice trembles at first, then grows louder, echoing through the tunnel. He admits his guilt. He confesses to abandoning his girlfriend when she needed him most, to looking away when a stranger died, to living a life defined by cowardice. Each word he speaks feels like tearing open an old wound. But with every confession, the tunnel reacts. The walls steady, the flickering lights soften, and his counter begins to rise on its own. The suited man, furious, rushes back to silence him. But the moment he touches Kawamura, his body glitches, tearing like broken pixels. He screams, his own form unraveling, until he is swallowed completely by the tunnel. Kawamura realizes the man was never just a rival. He was a reflection, another version of what Kawamura might become if he refused to change. The gate glows brighter, and Kawamura's counter finally completes. The boy smiles softly, before fading into the light. Kawamura walks forward, each step lighter than the last. The oppressive weight of the tunnel lifts, and for the first time, he feels free. As he passes through the gate, everything dissolves. The buzzing lights, the endless cycles, the suffocating guilt, all of it vanishes into silence. Kawamura finds himself standing outside, in the quiet of an ordinary world. The morning sun spills across the street, warm and real. People pass by without noticing him, as if nothing happened. In his hand, the paper plane remains, now folded neatly again. On its wing, a final word appears. Live. Kawamura closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, and for the first time in years, chooses not to run, not to hide, but to live with the choices he has finally faced. The tunnel is gone, but its lesson remains. Freedom wasn't about escaping, it was about acceptance. And with that truth, Kawamura steps forward into the light, carrying the weight of his past not as a burden, but as a part of who he has become. So friends, this was the complete story of the movie. I hope you understood it well and enjoyed the explanation. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Also, tell me in the comments which part of this movie you found the most interesting and which movie explanation you want to see next. Tell me in the comments. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay mysteriously